welcome back on this week's episode of Bone Apple Tea. We get to sit down. We have the pleasure, I should say, of sitting down with Samer Delgado. It's actually funny. He kept saying it's not pronounced Samer, but his name is Middle Eastern. Samer is how you would pronounce it.
Oh,
that's
really?
why I kept saying Samer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's funny.
So name pronunciations aside, this dude is insanely high energy. I'm surprised we didn't have to strap him to the chair, to be honest. He was jumping up and down basically.
Yeah.
But super inspirational, just kind of life story, to be honest. He kind of built himself up from nothing, found his passion. Dude is he was a Battle of the Bars athlete, Bar Stars athlete, I should say, which is, if you've ever heard of it, basically, or if you haven't, I should say, it's people that do crazy spins and flips off of basically pull-up bars onto other bars, off of the bars onto the ground.
Yeah.
It's a whole sport. There's a big scene.
Yeah, it's a big calisthenics guy.
Big calisthenics guy. Also been on American Ninja Warrior. Is a personal trainer and is now into bodybuilding, that type of shit. Anyways, dude is insane, crazy athlete. You'd think he's a gymnast, but he isn't. But yeah, can handstand or anything. We're gonna put some videos in the.
Yeah. This one will have a lot of videos for those watching the YouTube. So
yeah, and we're definitely gonna have him back on here for just a fitness and health episode because the dude knows a lot about that stuff. Super high energy, well spoken. Had a ton of fun. So yeah, we talk about that and more. His whole American Ninja Warrior story, that's crazy. You're going to want to hear some behind the scenes details about that. You don't really get just from watching the show. You know what I mean?
That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah, so it's a little more interesting than you think. It's a little fucked up.
Yeah, behind the scenes stuff's really interesting.
Yeah.
Say it better.
yeah. But yeah, all that and more. Enjoy.
When I saw you doing flips and shit, I was like, this isn't a normal human being. This guy is doing crazy shit, and there's no way he's just an average Joe. You're clearly jacked. And I was like, how'd he get jacked? And so turns out you do a bunch of this sort of barbell stuff or not barbell, what's it called? The bars.
Calisthenics?
Yeah, calisthenics. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And so how'd you even get into that to begin with?
Oh, man. So that's a long story. You want the short version?
No, man,
version?
this is a podcast.
Take
your time. Yeah.
All right. So as far as calisthenics go, so I got into the gym because I was fucking up, basically. I was just eating shitty food. I was smoking all the time. I was just drinking with my buddies.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I need a change. I need something different. So I quit smoking. And then I kept reading that when you quit, you want to change. You want to
replace the habit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Replace the habit with a different habit. So that time you spend in doing that, you're spending doing something different. So I was like, all right, so what should I do? I'm like, all right, I'm going to go join the gym, which is something I wanted to do for a long time.
Right.
So I joined Planet Fitness and I was just sitting there lifting weights and shit. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm pull downs and bicep curls and whatever else. And I remember that's when Instagram was first coming out. It was the same year Instagram came out, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
So I remember I always liked pictures and videos. It's always been my thing. I always liked it. So I remember joining Instagram and then just posting a picture of me doing the leg presses or whatever. There was no videos back then. It was just pictures.
Oh, I remember that.
True, yeah.
That was the days when I was posting a picture of a Capri Sun. It was Instagram. Instagram was different back then. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The little Instagram filters.
Yeah.
You put a little corny one and you post oh, that shit looks dope.
Yeah, it looks good.
It made the picture look so bad and so low
looking
level.
back, I'm like, oh shit, man, what was going on back then?
You should see some of my first pictures up there. Oof, bad. But I was just Instagram and fitness was one thing that happened together at the same time, and they were both very inspirational because I was just follow people that do fitness and and I was just being super inspired, man. I something in me was holy shit, I should have been doing this for years. I feel so good. I look better. I'm empowered by it. Yes. And I was eating better, doing some little cardio, doing some workouts. So I think my endorphins was going, everything just felt better in my body. And I was I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know any of the science behind it.
Right.
All I knew is that I was empowered by it. And I was Instagram, I'm going to post so much and I'm going to post some inspirational quotes. Everyone should be feeling like this,
Right. Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
And it was coming,
you know?
right. And it was coming from my heart. Like back then there were no influencers, nothing like that. So it was literally like something I wanted to like show the world type thing.
Right.
And then I remember coming across this dude that was doing a human flag. Like I was just like scrolling down and like, you know, some dude was just doing a human flag. For those that don't know what a human flag is, it's basically when you hold on to a pole and your body just is horizontal.
Yep.
Like so you look like a flag.
Yeah, you literally look like a flag. And sometimes people do the things where they'll like hang off the side of a boat like pole as a flag of the boat.
Yeah. But anyway, so this dude was just holding on to a pole. Like, what the fuck is that? Holy shit. So I go in his profile and the dude is like jacked and he's like, oh, like flexing and stuff. I'm like, shit. So he's not just someone who does stunts, he's like a fitness person.
Right.
And I kept looking through his page and I saw that he was doing like pull-ups and then there was a picture, back then there was no video, so there was like a picture of him like doing, like holding onto a bar. Then the next picture was him like going up. And then the next one was like him on top of the bar and then up all the way. And
like a muscle up walk.
It was a muscle up.
Yeah.
But back then I didn't know what it was. I was like, that's
true. I feel like
superhuman.
it wasn't even that like popular, like people doing muscle ups, you know what I mean? Or like trying to, you know what I mean?
And not many people could even do it because,
I
mean, I was shocked when I saw it. I'm like, holy shit, that is superhuman right there.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw a muscle up, it looks weird. You're like, how?
You are doing an extreme pull-up where you're doing a dip on top. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like that makes no sense.
You go to try it yourself. I remember when I tried a muscle up for the first time, you're like, how do you get
everybody usually gets stuck here.
Yeah, how do you...
I couldn't even get that far up, dude. Yes. It was so bad. I was nowhere close. I was like, okay, that's incredible. Yeah. So started doing some research on YouTube and like Google and stuff like that. And I found out that it was a thing. It's called calisthenics and it was a form of training. And this form of training was using your own body weight to train yourself and you become super strong and you become ripped up and all these things happen at the same time as you're just kind of like playing around, you know, you're like monkeying around on bars and you're like getting strong as fuck doing it.
Yeah.
So like that for me was like perfect because I've always been that way. I've always been like a monkey in my life. Like, you know, growing up, I was like climbing trees, getting mangoes, and I would climb all the way to the top of the tree and I'd be like, holy shit. And all my friends be like, what the hell are you doing? Get down from there. I'm like, I actually like this. Like, you know, the nervousness of it.
Yeah, dude. I'm kind of the same way. I love climbing shit too. I'm like not afraid of heights, but like sort of, but like I got this weird like itch to put myself in like I'm standing on something tall, you know what I mean? I don't know what that is.
Dude, I'm the exact same. Like I you know, for a while I used to say like, no fear here. That was like my little slogan because like a lot of people would be like, bro, aren't you scared? And I'm like, no, I am. But I just don't let the fear stop me. Like I'm scared. I'm scared of heights. Like the first time I did like jumping from a plane, whatever you call that, skydiving. The first time I did it, I was fucking shook. Oh my God, you see I took a video of it. Like you see my eyes, it looked like I saw death. I'm like, holy fuck, it was so scary. It was very scary.
I haven't actually skydove.
I was going to say, I feel like I wanted to do it.
Skydiving?
I wanted to do it so bad when I was like younger, like, you know, 18, 20. And then now I'm just like, damn, I should have capitalized on that because I don't know if I got the stones to do it now. I feel like I'd get up there and I'd be like, oh shit.
Dude, definitely
it's a perfectly good plane. Why am I doing that?
Nah, that's exactly how you feel. But then you're like, I'm here already. Now I got to do it.
Right,
and then it's like the most freeing thing in the entire world. Like,
I know,
honestly,
I gotta do it.
It's amazing. I've actually done it 3 times already.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm gonna do it this summer again with my daughter, so I'll be the 4th time.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's great, dude.
Yeah, it's a good time, but it's definitely scary. But you know what? Like that's the best place to be, man. Being that feeling that fear and then conquering it. Yeah. There's no other like best feeling than that.
Wait, how old's your daughter?
She's gonna be 19 this year.
Okay.
Really?
Dude, how old are you?
Yeah, how old are you?
I was going to say, I thought you were like...
I thought you were like, what the hell,
I don't even know.
Everybody always does that. I'm 36.
Dude,
wow.
What?
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I'm going to have to see some ID or something.
Yeah. What's your skincare routine?
I was 17 when I had my first daughter. I was 19 when I had my second daughter.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I have an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is crazy, dude, because you just look so young.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So when did you start getting into all this stuff? Because I know you said when Instagram first came out, was it like 2014, 2013? So
yep, right around 2012 is when I first started joining the gym. So whenever Instagram first came out, I was like really into Instagram and I was like getting the inspiration. So then I started researching calisthenics and I found Bar Stars. Shout out to Bar Stars as my team. They pretty much made me who I am, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bar Stars was a calisthenics team. And basically all it was is a bunch of guys who hung out at the park in New York, at the park where they had like pull-up bars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just get together and work out and like learn new moves and like challenge each other. And it would be like, it was like a family thing. And what was happening at the time, which I had no idea about, is it was getting big and they were having teams, like in New York especially, they were having like different teams in different areas of New York, and they will all come together and compete against each other. So then I'm like on YouTube, like, holy shit, they have videos of people competing. And then there's this one dude like muscling up, and then he'll jump on the bar. And then he'll jump off the bar and then muscle up again, and he'll do like 360 and catch the bar. And I'm like,
yeah.
How the
what the
It's crazy.
fuck?
Yeah,
I'm like,
crazy.
okay, this is literally what I want to do. That's it. I found it.
Yeah.
Like, it was me, man. So a little more background. I know I keep going back, but
No, you're good. Goes back as much as you need.
All right. So back in middle school, maybe already high school. Like I was 14 or something. So I grew up in the projects in New London. And back then, one of my buddies would do backflips. He knew how to backflip, and he's like, "I can teach you." I'm like, "Yes, teach me." So we went into like the dump or like the garbage dump, whatever, and the dumpsters, and grabbed some like mattresses that people threw away. And he taught me how to backflip on a mattress. Like he literally just like taught me how to do it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Wow. Also, balls on you, man. I've seen people do backflips and been like, "That's fun to watch."
Yeah. It's fun to do too, man. I can teach you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. I'll have to. We'll talk about that after.
Anyway, so once I learned, I was hooked, and I was like, all right, backflipping. I want to take it to the next level. So then I would just like flip from like, I don't know, I would just like climb like a little wall or something and flip off of it. And then as time went, then I would climb like higher things and then flip off of them.
Oh shit.
And then I was like flipping off the basketball hoops in high school,
my
bro.
God, dude, that is so
Jesus.
high off the
Flipping off.
ground.
Dude.
Yeah, it was from the back into the grass, but I was still I was crazy. Like I just and I love that, like the adrenaline, like you were saying earlier, like it's scary, but it's like fuck yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's that type of thing. So going back to calisthenics, when I saw those guys doing that, I'm like, oh my God, like that feeling you get doing that, because you're just on top of a bar. Now you have to like kind of like find your balance and then get off the bar, come back down, jump back on the bar, or 360, catch the bar. So all these things were tricks and like skills that just seem like scary, but at the same time, you have to be strong. You have to have body awareness. You have to be athletic.
Yeah.
You have to be fearless, or control your fears and not let them control you. All these things were coming to mind where I'm like, this is made for me, literally.
Yeah.
All right, I found it. Like, I like weight training, it's dope, and I'm gonna keep doing it, but I'm gonna introduce calisthenics as well. I already knew I was gonna do that. So yeah, so I, kept watching the Bar Stars guys, and I said one day I wanna, meet them and be like them or be part of the team or something.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I kept working out and kept doing, learning handstands, teaching myself headstands, teaching myself how to do muscle ups, which I ended up hurting my shoulder. Doing that back in 2013, trying to freaking muscle up like a dummy. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just kind of like end up like tearing up my rotator cuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I never got surgery for anything, so I'm still fucked up. But
yeah, it's probably still something you gotta like be careful of when you do.
Absolutely,
this stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't muscle up as much anymore because of it. It's gotten worse, with time and shit like that. So it hurts. It doesn't feel good. But yeah. So then, me and my family took a trip to Miami back then, and then I ended up finding out that there was a Bar Stars Miami. So there was a Bar Stars New York, Bar Stars California, and Bar Stars Miami. I didn't know they would have like teams like that.
Wow, you got the triangle of the United States.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah,
Nice.
so in Miami, I don't know if you guys been there, but they have like a whole outdoor workout area in the beach.
Yeah,
You've been
Miami's.
there, right?
I've been to Miami like once, and you do see it on the beach. You're like, wow, well, this makes sense because it's constantly warm year round, so they can keep
It's
a
like out
gym
in California, like by LA.
Yeah, they have one there too.
Yeah.
So it's called what is it? Muscle Beach.
Yeah, Muscle Beach.
Muscle Beach,
Exactly. And they have a
California.
bunch of calisthenic stuff around there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they have Muscle Beach, Miami as well.
Okay, cool.
I feel like is it better to be like on a beach when you do this stuff so that the landing isn't as harsh?
Right. So it helps having like a sand, right, instead of ground or I mean,
pavement
grass would be good too. Yeah. But yeah, the beach definitely helps, and it's good atmosphere too. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
You
know,
you're like shirtless
nice
out there, freaking getting a good tan, like all that. So anyway, so I went out there and I was like, I made it a point to go to that place and like meet some of those guys and just kind of like introduce myself and stuff. So I hit them all up on Instagram and Facebook and I was like, hey man, I'm a big fan. I just want to meet you guys. Just take me through a workout, something, teach me something, whatever.
Yeah.
But before I went, I got myself ready. I built some bars in my backyard and I learned how to muscle up. By then I was like 360ing. I was able to flip off the bar.
Wow, shit. Yeah.
So I would like jump on the bar and like flip off. Like,
oh shit, dude.
So I was like, I'm bringing something to Miami. I was hungry, man. I was hungry. I was like, I want to show them like, what I can do and I want to be part of this team and I want to compete and I want to like, back then calisthenics was a very different thing. Like nobody backflipped. There was a lot of moves that weren't even created yet, like that nobody had ever even thought of doing. And I already had my mind on a lot of different things. I was like, I've never seen this. I want to be the first one to try this. I want to be the first one to do this. I'm going to bring a whole new like style and flair to this game. You know what I'm saying?
You got the Rodney Mullen of bar stars.
But, so it ended up working out because when I went to Miami and I met some of the dudes and I like started flipping off the bars and stuff, they were like, holy shit, bro. Like, dude, you got something.
Yeah.
They're like, so Ed, he's the owner of Bar Stars. He created Bar Stars just by going to the parks, like making YouTube videos with his buddies.
Right.
And then they called it Bar Stars and like, that was like the biggest YouTube channel back then as far as calisthenics goes. So, this dude that I met in Miami ended up just calling Ed on the phone. He's like, dude, I got someone here who wants to compete. He's dope. You want to meet him. He's from Connecticut. He's willing to go up to New York and meet you and all that. So, fast forward, a few months later, I was on the phone with Ed a lot and talking and shit. And he was like, you know what? Send me some videos of some of the stuff you can do. And if I feel like you're good enough, I want to put you in this new competition that's coming a few months from now.
Oh, shit.
Actually a few weeks from now. I think I had like 3 weeks to get ready. And it was the Kangaroo World Cup, New York. So it was a World Cup back then. I had no freaking clue. Countries were competing, right? And every winner of each country, they will all get together and fly to Moscow, whatever, Russia, and compete there.
Wow.
To see who wins the World Cup of calisthenics.
Holy crap. Wow.
And my first competition was the World Cup in New York.
Holy crap, dude. Talk about going from like 0 to 100. You're like, for real. Never competed before, World Cup.
Never even met anyone who does calisthenics.
They're like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Yo, send him to Russia.
Yeah.
Let's ship him off to Russia.
So crazy, dude. So I ended up going to New York and competing. I did not do as good as I thought.
But it's good.
But I definitely raised some eyebrows. I did some of the craziest moves probably ever seen there. I was not clean. Like there were guys who were stronger, who were cleaner with their muscle ups. Like they were a lot. Like they had other moves, more static holds. Like they have front levers, and they were doing
some of those.
They were doing cleaner stuff. I was just very crazy. Like I was the craziest there. So a lot of people were like, "Whoa, who is this kid? Like who is he?"
Yeah.
Towards the end of my set, because what they do is they give you 3 minutes or 2 minutes, I forget how long it is, and basically like, all right, go do your thing, show us what you got.
That's what. So it's a 3-minute time limit.
I think back then it was like 2 minutes. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. So basically, like, here's your time, do what you want, and just like wow us and show us.
Yeah, show us what you can do. It's kind of like reminiscent of like an Olympic type event, where they give you a certain time limit in gymnastics.
Yeah.
And they say like, hey, like do your routine in this time limit, and then they grade you at the end.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
That's probably why everybody's like busting it. Because like now you watch and people are trying to get moves out. Like they're busting them out, like, you know what I mean? Like very quick. So
now, we call those combos. The combos now are long. I mean, back then there was like a 2-move combo, maybe a 3-move combo if you were really good. Now dudes are pulling 5, 6, 7, 8 move combos, and all the difficulties in each of those moves are like super high level. Right. I mean, the level now is
crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But I remember I didn't feel like I was doing so good. So I'm like, all right, I got to throw something here. And I already had in my mind a move that I might have thrown. I was going to throw it. I'm like, only if I have to, I'll do it. So then I'm like, all right, I have to. So what I did is in this park, they had a bar. So they had like think about a square of bars. And they're all 5 feet apart. Mm-hmm. And then there's a high bar, and then there's a bar that is slightly lower. So let's say there's like a 9-foot bar, maybe like an 8-foot bar. And then there's like on the sides, there's like 2 6-foot bars or something like that.
Okay.
So I jumped on the 9-foot bar, jumped on top of the bar, and then flipped real far back because I wanted to catch the bar that was behind me. So I was wanting to flip over it and catch it. Like that was my
Christ,
yeah, I know. Like, holy shit.
That's what I wanted to do.
That's what you wanted to do. That's crazy, dude.
Exactly. I landed on my rib. Oh. Boom. One hand on the bar, the other hand kind of slipped, and my rib hit the bar. But I stayed up there. I was like, ugh, and then I did another muscle up, and I was like, and I got off, and everybody went fucking nuts. Holy shit, what the fuck? And I'm like walking back like this.
Oh my God, dude.
And
oh my God. Did you like break a rib or anything?
No, just kind of bruised, maybe.
Okay, cool.
I was fine.
Wow.
Yeah, I was fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bounced right off.
I think I just I landed one hand on the bar, and the other hand kind of like hit the rib. Like I missed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's. Had you practiced that before?
No, never.
You just were like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it."
I've never done anything close to that in my life.
That's crazy, dude.
So you were like, "Today's the day."
Yeah. Well, I saw the bars when I got there, and I was trying to figure out what the hell am I gonna do. Like, I don't have a routine. I know like 5 moves, maybe 4 moves. I don't even know.
That's crazy.
What am I gonna bring into like? I gotta bring something. You know? So
dude, that's crazy. I mean, like, I'm sure after. I mean, you know, it's your first time competing. You just started, and like, I'm sure afterwards, everybody's like, "All right, well, this dude just gonna train for another month and he's going to be blowing these guys out of the water."
Yeah. So Ed he came up to me. He was like, "Yeah, okay, you want to be part of Bar Stars?" I'm like, yes. And I remember like, you know, a few months later before I even went to Miami, I was watching a YouTube video where Ed and like a couple of his buddies, Juan and a couple other friends of or Bar Stars guys all got in a van and just took a trip through the whole United States, and they like stopped at Washington D.C. and they were doing handstands in front of the like White House, and they would like stop at different places and
that's
do like
awesome.
And I was like, that is literally what I want. I just want to hang out with these guys. I need people like that in my life. Like they do the shit that I like doing, and I just want to be with them all the time. It's like take me with you, like. Yeah. And because of that day, like we ended up doing stuff like that. We ended up taking a trip to Florida in a van, and like we did all that stuff. And I was like, man, I can't believe I'm living my dream. It was like when you see like a celebrity or something, you're like, oh, I want to hang out with that guy. He's a cool dude. And then you end up hanging out with them. Yeah. Like that's how I felt with these guys, you know?
That's dope.
Wow. Yeah, that must have been really surreal when it all kind of just like came together like that, you know?
It's like a dream that happens.
Yeah.
That's exactly how
you made it happen, dude. And then like also it sounds like you guys kind of built the sport up a little, you know, like the popularity at least, because like it wasn't super popular back then.
Right. I think Instagram did that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, it is, because it is like, it's really flashy. But it's also like very like you kind of mentioned, very skillful, very athletic. Mm-hmm. But then also you're doing like flips and shit. It reminds me of a much more muscular version of skateboarding. Like where people are doing tricks. I mean, skateboarding has ramps and all these various things, but it's like a, you know, I mean, I guess maybe it's more like gymnastics than it is skateboarding. No,
but I see the skateboarding part because I came from skateboarding background. Like I was,
oh really?
I was actually, my brother was a skateboarder, and since I was a lot younger than him, the new thing was rollerblading. So for me, it was rollerblading, and he was a skateboarder. And I was like, oh, fuck you guys, you know, we better. But it ended up being the other way. They ended up winning. Like, skateboarding definitely became way better than rollerblading. I thought rollerblading was going to be the thing. And I used to compete.
Rollerblading was mad fun,
You used to compete, dude.
That's
anytime
crazy.
you start doing a sport, you're like, all right, time to show some motherfuckers up.
Exactly. 100% for it. But back then, I was still in Venezuela. So I came from Venezuela, and I lived there till I was 11.
Oh, okay, so that explains. I was going to ask about the whole mango climbing thing.
Yeah, that's because I was like, mangoes, dude.
We don't have that here.
You climbed a tree in Connecticut and you found a fucking mango?
Like, where the fuck?
Where? Dude, but actually your name, Samer, is like a Middle Eastern name. Like I have uncles, like a bunch of my uncles are named Samer.
Samer,
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It is a Middle Eastern name.
Yeah.
So my sister is actually 20 years older than me.
Okay.
So and she has a thing for Middle Eastern men. Like she always dated, like even in Venezuela, like all her boyfriends had been Middle Eastern guys that she, that lived in Venezuela. Obviously, Venezuelan, but like Middle Eastern background. So whatever.
Yeah, right.
So when I was born, my dad had a thing that he was gonna name me a Bible name. That's it. He's getting a Bible name, and he wanted to call me some crazy shit like Jonathan Josaphat or some crazy fucking thing. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
That would have been a little different, huh?
Yeah, fuck. I sound like a bad guy in a movie or something. Jonathan Josaphat.
Yeah, dude, and you have the accent. Oh my God, exactly. I would have sealed the deal.
So my sister was like, hell no way my little brother's going to be called Jonathan Josaphat. So,
I can't even know how you're saying it that fast.
Yeah, each time you say it gets funnier.
You just actually clip that and like, I don't know.
Yeah. Jonathan Josaphat. Yeah, that's what it was. So
she's actually the newest Harry Potter spell.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it sounds like, right?
Sorry.
It does sound it does. Sounds like I don't know, like a bad character or something. But anyway, so she was like, nah, hell no. So she's like, she had dated a guy, I guess, named Sammer, or maybe like maybe that guy hadn't mentioned the name to her and she really liked it or something like that. So she ended up telling my mom, was like, just tell him that Sammer is a Bible name. He'll believe it. Because it's like a Egyptian, like, name from like Middle Eastern name.
Yeah.
And he believed it. So my name is Sammer because my mom and sister gave me that name.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I'm Lebanese. I have a couple Sammers in my family.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah, but it's funny. That's why when I asked you what your name is, you said Sammer. I was like, dude, are you not like Middle Eastern? I was asking where you were from after we left, and I was like, oh.
It's such a weird thing because I don't know anything about the Middle Eastern culture at all, but my name is Middle Eastern. But I'm Venezuelan, and it's like it's a whole and I look white, so. It's like a whole mixture of things there.
But so anyway, so you start hanging out with these bar star guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where because I know right now you're like a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I see on your stories, you're posting, and like also you got really big on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So like when did all this kind of happen? And also you started doing the whole like Ninja Warrior thing too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that all kind of like happened in what order of events or like.
So
what was the transition like there? Yeah, like what?
So what happened was I became buddies with bar stars. I ended up being the first bar stars in Connecticut.
Nice.
Like the official member of bar stars. Back then, being official member of bar stars was a thing, dude. You had to like pass a test. You had to do all these things. Like,
shit.
And it was a thing. So I became an official bar stars member in Connecticut, the first one. So I was competing all over the place, man. I was like competing in California and in Florida. And one of the competitions that we went to, we took a van to Florida. Like we drove all the way to Florida. We competed in, where was it? Jacksonville, Florida. We competed there. This guy built like the biggest calisthenics park in America in someone's house. He has it.
What?
Yeah.
His house?
Shout out to Zach Rufo. Zach Rufo's a beast, man. So he built this crazy, amazing facility in his backyard.
Wow.
In Jacksonville, Florida. And we took a trip out there to compete in that competition. I ended up busting another crazy move and ended up fucking my shin up like really badly.
Really?
Oh, God.
Yeah. So you guys know what giants are?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
So in gymnastics, a giant is when you hold onto the bar and you're flipping around the bar with your whole body while you're holding on with your hands.
Okay.
The bar. So that's what a giant is.
Okay.
Well, back then, people weren't doing that in calisthenics. Like that wasn't a move. I knew one person was doing it. One of the bar stars guy he's one of the legends of bar stars.
Yeah.
And he was doing it back then. But other than him, I don't think anyone else was doing that in calisthenics. So
naturally you were like, all right, my turn.
That's right. So I started going to gymnastics gyms here like Connecticut and like paying them money to let me like use the facility for a few hours and just to like learn things with a foam pit underneath me or like with mats underneath me. So I could just like learn the moves. And I learned how to do a giant in that facility. And then, it's different though because gymnastics bars, they have a little bit of give. They kind of like bounce a little. So it's a little easier to learn moves in that gymnastics bar. You could like really like jump real high.
You get like a spring force.
Exactly.
And they're wooden, right? I mean, they're wooden bars.
Some of them are wooden, but the ones we were using were metal. We were using the guys' bars are metal. The girls' bars are wooden and thicker for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
But we were using the metal ones because the wooden ones would just tear our hands apart. Like literally just like we'll rip in like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they wear those hand things, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Grips,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they wear the grip things to cover themselves from getting getting cut or whatever, to ripping. So I went to that gymnastics gym and I was just like learning moves, and I ended up learning the giant, and I was like, holy shit, I'm bringing that to a real bar.
Yeah.
So when we went to Florida, to Jacksonville, I ended up pulling out that move, and I did 5 giants around these thicker, real metal bars, like 10 feet off the ground. And this guy has so many bars all over the place that I didn't really put my mind to that until I was actually about to do the giant. And I'm like, ooh, there's a bar like 6 feet away. Well, no, it was like 8 feet away. So I had some room, but like my body was like 6 feet away, right? So like, I was a little afraid, because what I was gonna do is I was gonna do 5 giants, and I was gonna what we call flyaway. A flyaway is when you let go of the bar and you just like flip in the air and land on your feet.
Yep.
It's not really that hard of a move, honestly.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
It's a pretty easy move, but since that bar was there, I was like, shit, man, I don't want to like fly away and then boom, hit that bar and then just buzz my shit. So it wasn't back in my mind the whole time I was gianting. So I was like, all right, so I'm going to like let go a little higher up, and not so I don't go as far forward. Well, that backfired because I went up so high that I ended up flipping and then hitting both of my shins on the same bar I was gianting from.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, I have the video too. I'll show it to you.
Dude, you should actually.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
definitely send it to me, because I can play it while we're talking about it.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But I landed on my chest, and by the way, so on our way to this competition, we were all talking. We were like, listen, the judges don't like people like putting their head down when they mess a move up, or like, like getting pissed at themselves. Always remain confident no matter what. That's what we were telling each other. Like, if you fall, you do push-ups and you keep going. Like if you bust your ass, you smile, and you're like, yeah, let's go. Nothing happened, right? Always keep that mindset when you're there. Like, don't look defeated, because they will give you less points. You know what I mean? It looks bad.
Yeah. Because it is an appearance thing. It's like a show. It's like the show must go on.
Right.
And if part of the show is you look like you are
defeated,
then that's ruining the show.
And if the other guy's more confident, he's messing up, but he keeps going and he moves on to the next thing, that guy looks like, okay, so that guy's a winner. You're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So I had that in my mind the whole time too. So when I busted my ass and landed on my chest and face, I got right back up and I'm like, we're good, let's go. And I'm walking away like this. I'm like looking at my shit like, oh shit, I fucked my shit up.
Oh, man.
But I kept going and I won. I ended up winning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk about playing it off, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, we're fine. That was nothing.
Yeah.
I kept going,
just
dude.
my shins, dude.
Well, I had that mindset. We talked about it in the whole way there. So I had that mindset, like, no matter what happens, you shut the hell up and you smile and you keep going and you like, that's it. So I had that mindset and it worked, But so I was doing a lot of competitions like that, and I was competing a lot, and I was winning a lot of these competitions. I was losing a lot of them too, but I was still always one of the craziest persons. I think that was the thing. It wasn't so much that I was like winning everything I did, because it's tough to win, especially when you do like the ones where you go against a lot of people. So sometimes you go one-on-one. So it's like a match against one person. But sometimes like the first one I did is like a pool of 12 people, and there's one winner. So everybody just shows their thing. But when there's one-on-one, you go, I go. You go, I go. It's like playing horse. But you don't have to do the same thing. You just got to beat them at whatever. Yeah. So let's say you go do a muscle-up 360. I go do a muscle-up 2 360s and get on top of the bar and do some other move.
Yeah, it is. It's a dance battle, but
exactly.
Like hyper-athletic dance battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that's what that one was. And the one where I hit my shins, it was like that. It was me against a guy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the fact that I was competing so much and I was being, and by the way, Bar Stars had a big channel on YouTube. They had a big channel on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I think they were like up to like 600,000 subscriptions on YouTube. And I think,
that's a ton.
Yeah, that's a ton.
And I think they're like 400,000 on Instagram right now, 500,000 right now, something like that.
That's wild.
But anyway, I was posting on Instagram. I was real active. I was loving my life. I was the high of my world, man, because I did not think this was gonna happen to me. I didn't know this was a thing that was gonna happen to me. Before I started going to the gym, I had no ambitions. I was just like I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Right.
You know, so that all changed so fast in a couple of years, not even like a year maybe.
Wow.
That it was just like I was on a whole new height in my life, and I felt it, and I felt great, and I was just like ready to take on the world. And my Instagram followers were going up. I was getting posted on weird pages. Like back in the day, the big pages were like Fitness of Instagram, or Instagram Fitness, I think it was. It's Instagram Fitness, and there were a bunch of other like big pages, bodybuilding.com. Those were the big pages on Instagram,
wow.
and I was just getting posted randomly. I remember I was a cook back then. I wasn't even a personal trainer yet. I was a cook. And I would be at work, and my phone would be like, ping, ping, ping. I'm like, oh, shit, I just got posted on that page. I just got posted on that page. And then I go look, I'm like, fucking 3,000 new followers. You know what I mean?
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was just blowing up.
Wow.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm getting like messages from people from Malaysia, like, Summer, you're my idol. I can't wait to go to the USA and meet you. Like people from Chile, people from Colombia, people from
wow.
Bro, it was nuts, dude. It was so incredibly crazy.
Well,
you know?
It's just kind of like crazy to think about because like it's just like you said, such a switch, you know, to go from like you hadn't even like done gym stuff. Right. To like you're like traveling the United States with these bar stars guys and like doing multiple competitions, like throwing your body around.
Dude, I still can't even believe that. Like that was my life then.
I feel like it's funny. Because I used to follow a lot of those Instagram fitness pages. I wonder if like at one point in time, like I was watching you, but
dude,
like
I've watched so many of those like Battle of the Bars videos. I like got super obsessed with it for a while. Yeah, I'm saying like I probably saw you on like some video somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I probably watched you.
I used to have a red mohawk back then. Whenever I competed, actually blonde, and then I would put red tips on it. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, for sure.
For sure, standing out like crazy. That's how you do it.
It was like my war outfit, or whatever you want to call it.
Like your people who had like war paint. You had the friggin' spikes and the
blonde
tips.
mohawk with the red tips,
dude. And a couple of the guys, and like I was saying, like a couple when I saw you last time, like a couple of guys I follow on Instagram, like you were like, yeah, I know that guy, like the tatted strength guy, and
I competed against him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's so fucking random. It's like crazy. But also this guy, he was in Dubai for a while. His name is Ken Galarzo, I think. Progressive
Galarzo. He's one of the. So his team back then. So I was in Connecticut, obviously. Barca was in New York, and then he had a team as well, and his team was shit. Please remember, Summer. What the hell is the name? Hold on. Oh, shit.
It's okay if you can't recall it, too.
It's so important, though, because I was like fangirling over being part of that team. Like, literally, like, that was... Fuck, I still have their shirt.
Shit.
And I would just message Ken all the time, like, bro, you guys are the shit. I love it. I want to, the guy that I first met or seen doing the human flag was part of that team as well.
Dude, he used to do, because I saw a bunch of videos of him doing off the side of a boat too. And like he'd be starting in the water and bring himself out. I was like, dude, this guy's crazy.
They were all in California.
In the water too. It's just like,
dude, I mean, he moved to Dubai for a while.
I remember Barholics.
Barholics. Okay. Nice.
So he had a team, Barholics. You know who Frank Medrano is?
Yeah, I think so too.
He was part of the team as well.
Okay,
so Frank Medrano, it was Ken Galarzo. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And a few other guys, Justin, and so I was like, I want to be part of this team, and they're like, we'd love to have you, but you're in Connecticut, so I mean, you could still be part of the team, but you won't be able to train with us,
right?
So I had a choice to make, and my choice was Bar Stars or Barholics. That was my choice.
Oh shit!
Wow.
And then I ended up picking Bar Stars. And then these guys, now we have this old love now, but back then they kind of were mad at me, and they kind of like
really?
Like they kind of like stopped like messing with me. Like they weren't like messaging me back. They wouldn't really like my stuff anymore.
Oh man, that's
that's
a little altercation back then.
Yeah, and then Bar Stars and people from California weren't really like in great terms as much, because they kind of felt like California wanted to like take over. They wanted to be like the biggest calisthenics people, and obviously they have one of the biggest states, and they have all that.
They have a lot of people too, like a lot of people out there. Yeah,
right. So it was like a thing with, they wanted to be better than Bar Stars, and which is cool. Like it was competition, but they were mad at the fact that I picked Bar Stars. But I was like, but I picked them because they were closer. And I could like connect with them more, right? I could go there and hang out with them physically. And that's what I told them too.
I mean, dude, otherwise you would have had to move to California, right?
Exactly.
Basically, like that's like a big deal.
Unless I was just and I couldn't really do that then. You know, I just had taken my kids to live with me and stuff like that. So I couldn't just like take my kids away to California.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's expensive and everything. Anyways, it sounds like it didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. But they were pissed about it.
Yeah, that's too bad they were salty about that though. I mean, like I get it, right? Like, you know, it's cool to have like a little rivalry, like East Coast, West Coast, whatever.
That's kind of what it was.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, you know what I mean?
Like I made the best decision for me at the time.
Yeah. So then, but that's funny that you know him too, dude. I swear to God, because I've been following these guys forever. Because he posts a lot of just like general calisthenics things, and he did pretty.
He's
heavy.
One of the gurus, man. He's one of the OGs of calisthenics. I mean, when I got into calisthenics in 2012, this guy was doing it for 5 years, maybe already. He was already doing crazy stuff.
It's kind of nuts. Like my sister lives in Dubai. I went to visit her, and I was trying to go to this gym because he was there for a few years. Like this is probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And I never ended up going, but I was bummed because like I would always see him. I'm like, dude, I was just there. Like I'm like, I got to meet this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, him and a few other guys moved out there to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, they had this super nice gym. Like they had a super nice gym out there.
I forget the name, but I know exactly which gym you're talking about.
I can't remember it either. It's probably somewhere on his page. But yeah, I was like, and it was close. So I was like, oh, I got to drive it. But I didn't have a car when I was visiting my sister, you know. So I was like, I don't want to drag them.
She lives there, huh?
Yeah. She actually just moved to California. Just moved. But yeah, dude. Wait. So like, all right. So how did you go from like Bar Stars? Like, when did you like jump out of that into doing like American Ninja Warrior stuff, or was it at the same time, or like what?
No, it was a transition.
And like why? You know what I mean? Was there like a reason you were like, all right, I kind of got to give up? Like, did you get hurt or something?
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I got injured in calisthenics, and I took like a year off, and then that year turned into like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I had like. My last battle was against Titus Strength. So it was my and my biggest too. Cause so back a little more, I had a battle in Vegas at the Arnold.
Oh, no way. Like at the Arnold Classic, like the bodybuilding show?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, crazy. So they invited me to this, and it was Battle of the Bars. It was gonna be my first Battle of the Bars. I haven't seen Kenneth or any of these guys. Kenneth put together the competition.
Oh shit!
Right, he was one of the owners of Bar of the Bars. Forget the other guy's name, but he's one of my buddies as well. He's a cool dude. But they invited me, and I was like, shit, I haven't seen them, talked to them in a while. They don't like me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now I gotta go there and go compete in their turf.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. So what I did was I didn't have money. I was still a cook. So one of my friends that also does calisthenics, who live in Florida, he set up a GoFundMe account without my permission, by the way. And then he hit me up like, don't say nothing. It's happening. I don't care. We're going to get you money to go to Vegas. And I'm like, shit, dude, okay. But he set up a GoFundMe account, and I mean, it's crazy. Everybody donated money. Some dude from Germany donated like,
that's awesome.
like $800.
Whoa.
Like, everyone that donated, most of the people that donated, I didn't have no idea who they were.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
A dude from Florida, who I'm still friends with, by the way, he donated a hotel room, a suite in Vegas, in one of like the nicest hotel in Vegas.
What?
So he gave me a freaking room, dude.
What the hell? What a freaking cool donation.
I got everything paid for. I didn't have to pay for anything to go to Vegas. And then I went there, and that was a tournament style competition. It was 12 people, and 2 of them were from out of the country. One guy was from Brazil. The other guy was from Mexico. There were 2 brackets. Each bracket has 6 people in it, and they were going battle against each other. So 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, and people were battling against each other. So it was all random, and I didn't know who I was going to battle at all or anything. So I just had to basically put routines together in my head to go there and compete. And I did. I actually wrote the routines down. I was real
calculated, I guess, with it. You know,
right.
Like strategic, probably a better word for it.
Yeah, strategic and calculated about it. Like I had I definitely was trying to be different, and like I wanted to win. I wanted to win, especially since everybody gave me money to go there and representing all that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring my A game.
Yeah.
So I wrote down all the routines I was gonna do. If I won, I would have had battle 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Okay.
Right. If I won. So I made 4 different routines, and each routine had a special move. It's like Mortal Kombat, like finish up.
Yeah. Gotta have the special move.
Yeah. So one of my special moves was I would muscle up and jump on the bar, and then my buddy, like he'll know it was coming. So my buddy will come and throw me the phone, like, yo, somebody's calling you. He'll throw me the phone, and I like pick it up and be like, yo, what's up? And just flip off the bar and then land on the ground and just walk away like nothing happened. You know what I mean? That was one of my specials.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's really
because I wanted to bring like personality to it.
Yeah.
Another one was my same friend, Vertical. He will I will be doing a back lever, and he will like jump on the bar and just step on my back. And just kind of like jump on my back as I'm doing a back lever. And I was like, bro, jump hard, bro. I'm like, jump hard, bro. And he did it. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Holy shit. Yeah, I would have been in the audience like, what the fuck?
Dude, that battle, place was, California was even more, but this place was packed.
Really?
And I mean, the whole place around the bars when we were competing was just like filled with people. The noises were crazy. Like calisthenics competition now don't get anywhere close to how crazy they were back then. As far as like just people being in awe about it. I think people see it more now, so it's kind of like more normal now.
Yeah.
But back then, man, holy shit. That battle was like, the energy in that battle was crazy. So anyway, I ended up winning the whole freaking thing. I went there and I won first place.
Awesome.
Dude, where's the button?
Yeah.
Hit the button. Just for good measure.
What the hell is that? Yeah, man. It was like crazy. I ended up winning the battle, and I won, and I met my sponsor there. My biggest sponsor today, which was a shoe company from overseas. So they were from like Japan. And they were like in Adidas. They were big out there in Japan. So a guy from America bought the rights to sell them in America and call it. So it was 361 degrees, like 1 degree beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, right.
So the guy that bought it, he named it 361 USA. So I mean, these shoes were pretty dope. They were really, really nice shoes, and like they had like shirts and all this stuff. So this guy, I met the owner of the company, and he actually got to watch my battle after I met him, and he was like, he liked me a lot, so he ended up sponsoring me.
Oh, that's dope, dude. That's awesome.
Cool. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I landed that sponsor deal, and I won the battle. And I mean, you can only imagine. So whoever won that battle got to be the main event at the California Battle of the Bars, the next one.
Okay. That was the one at the Arnold Classic? Or this is the one, though?
This was the one at Arnold Classic. The one in California was a different fitness expo.
Okay,
And that's the one I went against Titus Strength. Because he was the top guy at the time.
Yeah.
He had the belt.
He's crazy. Yeah.
So now I was going to go compete against him.
Wow.
Because I won this battle. So that's what I won. That was my thing that I won from him.
Yeah.
So then fast forward, I went and competed against him, and that was the craziest one. That thing was packed like crazy. I mean, insanely packed. The audience was like, oof, I can't even explain it. It's crazy.
It must be a whole different, because it's like a completely different experience to do these routines and practice them versus a stage or in a theater or a stadium and try to do the same routine and stay focused.
Absolutely. That's one of the hardest things. Just like Ninja Warrior, that's one of the hardest things. It's not, most people that compete are great. They have the abilities, they have the moves, they have the strength. But some of them either lack the mental focus or lack the mental strength.
Like you get the nerves and you can't handle the nerves.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it used to happen to me too. Like some of my first battles, I used to literally black out. I don't remember what the hell happened. Like they will have to tell me what happened. Like, bro, you did this and that, busted your ass, and like, you fucked up.
I was telling him I competed in like a jiu-jitsu competition, and like I don't remember the first like few minutes of the thing. I was like, dude,
you blacked out.
Yeah, and I was like so amped up, and then afterwards it was like a crap. I was like so tired. Yeah, but it's funny. Yeah, I don't even remember it. It's like the first time I ran like a track race. I did 200 meters. I was like, did I remember the first 100 meters? I don't remember the first 100 meters at all. Yeah.
So the key to competing in things like that is to somehow, some way, not let that happen.
Yeah, that's crazy. It is. It's tough.
You have to like literally mentally prepare. It's almost like meditating.
Yeah.
into not letting that happen. You have to breathe. You have to like stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. I kept telling myself, stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Confidence. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Right. Confidence. Those are the two things you want. You want to like just stay here, bro. Don't fucking don't leave. Because what happens is when you have the adrenaline pump, and then all the moves become higher level. It's crazy. That's what used to happen to me. So I wasn't used to being able to 360 like way higher than I normally am.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're like throwing yourself up, you know, it's like,
holy shit, where's the bar? And I will just miss it and bust my ass and stuff like that, you know? It's so crazy, dude. Like, so you have to stay in the moment. You have to do exactly how you do it in practice. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it down 100,000% in practice, don't even bring that to competition.
Yeah. Which is something you definitely learned in the first few competitions. You're busting out new moves that you've never done
busting
before.
my ass over and over again. So bad.
So what happened during the Tatted Strength match? Like you said, something happened that basically after that you ended up moving over to
Ninja Warrior. Yeah. So after that big competition, my life changed a lot. I ended up losing to him. It was like a judges thing, like you know, one judge him, one judge me, the other judge ended up picking him type thing.
Got it.
And I could have went either way, to be honest. Some people still say I won, and I think honestly, I think he had it.
Yeah.
But I was very close. I could have went either way. But so after that, you know, at the time I was, you know, I had a girlfriend at the time, and I lived with her and my kids and all that, and we were together already for like years. It was like 5-6 years or something, and we ended up breaking up like soon after that competition. And so that was a big life change for me. So I had to like, you know, moved out. I had to like go somewhere different. Now I had 2 kids, and I was a single parent now. I mean, I was a single parent already, but now I'm a single parent without help.
Yeah.
And so that was a tough thing for me. It was a tough time in my life. And then I had just become a personal trainer, so I wasn't cooking anymore. So all my money was only personal training.
Oh, wow.
And then moving out from where I had a whole bar set up in this place. And now I moved out to an apartment.
Oh, shit, that's tough. You can't
and
train
I'm
like that.
What am I going to do now?
Yeah, no kidding. Holy shit.
So I basically made my living room into my training space. That's where I would train everyone. I didn't have a living room. All I had was like so I pull a bar, I put in there and some weights and stuff like that. And like that was where I trained my clients. But soon after that, I went to a different competition. I ended up really hurting myself. I ended up getting a concussion. I messed up my AC joint. I had AC joint separation in my right shoulder.
No, that's the worst. Geez. That's really tough to recover from too.
Yeah, it's really tough to recover from.
Yeah, it took years. And I had a concussion. My other shoulder injury from like back in 2012 came back like full force. It was like I couldn't even move my shoulder on my other side as well.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
It was crazy. And it was at a competition I was gonna go judge. I wasn't even competing at it. I was judging that competition, and I ended up doing a move that I hadn't done in a while. And I wasn't 100% focused, and I was a little bit timid about it. I didn't just you got a full send. You got a full send.
You do,
If you don't and you think too much in the middle of the air, you're fucked, especially if you're flipping, right?
Yeah.
So I was flipping, I kind of like opened up a little bit, and I was like, oh shit, it just fell straight down on the ground. And my head hit the ground, like my shoulder kind of went forward. Yeah. So anyways, after that, I'm like, all right, I gotta pull out from my 2 competitions I'm already going to. One was in Battle of the Bars, another one in California. This was in Anaheim, California. I had to pull out of that one. I had to pull out of a competition that I was going to do in Germany at some point. They have invited me to Mexico to some other stuff. I had to pull out of everything. Plus, I didn't have, I have my kids now, so I couldn't just leave. I couldn't just leave them, So, so basically, my calisthenics career kind of just went from like 100 to like freaking 0.
Holy shit, man! That must have been really tough mentally to be like on top of the world and like this crazy freak athlete, and then you get these really debilitating injuries, and then you go from.
It's crazy, bro.
Jeez.
But I still had Instagram, and I had like, my Instagram was still popping, and I was like, all right, well, now I'm going to put all my energy into my business. I'm going to grow my personal training business, and I'm going to just focus on that. So that's what I was doing. And then I I ended up making a little team out here in Connecticut, in Groton. I met some guys, some younger dudes who were like pretty strong and like ex-athletes and stuff like that, ex-football and baseball athletes and stuff. So I'm like, man, these guys are strong. So I would come up to people in the gym and be like, yo, have you ever heard of Muscle Up? And they're like, nah, what's that? So I would show them and they're like, holy shit. So, you know, and people get like hooked real quick because they're like, wow, that's amazing, you know?
Yeah.
So I started building a little team around me, and those guys were getting real good and real strong, and they invited their families and like their friends, and you know, so now we had like a little meetup every Sunday at the bar, at the park here in Groton. There was actually a park where they had like a few bars there, like old school bars. I mean, this thing must have been from like I don't know, 1980 or something. Like,
yeah.
They didn't even use. It was a school that didn't even use that part of the school anime. So we would go there and use the bars.
Oh wow.
So we had like a little meetup every Sunday, and that meetup started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where we started calling it the community free calisthenics community workout. Like, all the families would come out. I mean, we had like 40 people every weekend. Yeah, sometimes we had like 60 people come out. It was crazy.
That's a big crowd for just like, you know, just like a local
like kids, moms, grandmas would be out there kind of like hanging out, you know.
Probably just like a cookout basically.
Yeah. And I would put everybody through like a basic calisthenic workout, you know, like more like HIIT style. Like, all right, let's run around the park. All right, let's do some push-ups. All right, let's do some sit-ups. All right, let's see who can hang on the bar the longest. Like, you know, just basic stuff that was like fun. And then after that, we all like freestyle. All right, now we could freestyle. Let's go on the bars and do what you want. And I would just come around and help kids like learn how to do like front rolls or how to do like pullovers, like basic moves that look really cool on the bars. And like, you know, people get stoked when they get it the first time. So it was that type of thing. And then, so I started bringing people out from like different parts of Connecticut. And then at some point, this one girl kept coming every week, and then we actually ended up talking and meeting or whatever. And
so who did you meet again?
Megan.
Okay.
So so Megan Beatties. Yeah, she came out and she was actually really good. She would do like, I think she was doing muscle ups and all that. And I'm like, holy shit, like this girl's strong. I'm like, what do you do? She's like, oh, I have a parkour background and I do Ninja Warrior. I'm like, Ninja what?
Oh shit. Okay.
She's
cool.
like Ninja Warrior. I'm like the show? She's like, yeah. And I was like, I've been watching that show for like 9 years.
Yeah.
Like forever. Like that. And I would just sit there and watch me like, I can do that. You know, one of those people.
Yeah.
And
but actually
you can.
though.
But like,
yeah, but you can.
Like I really believed it, but you never know. Like, you know what I mean?
True,
you think you can do it. A lot of people think they can do it. But
that's a good point.
But she was like, so she's like, there's a gym in Fairfield, Connecticut, and I go there every like whatever, Wednesday or whatever it was, and I train. And then they have local competitions where we go to different gyms and compete against each other. And she's like, and now I just got a call to be on the show, she says. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to be on the show for this season. And I'm like, get the hell out of here.
Wild, yeah.
Explain to me how this shit works. I need to know how in the fuck do I get it. I thought it was impossible for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it's on TV,
I thought it's impossible to be on a show on TV.
It's like one of those things, like it just feels like
that's not reality.
Something special has to happen. You know what I mean? It's like,
bro.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It's like a weird disconnect.
Why is that? Why do we feel that way?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's because I think like because we grow up watching TV, the TV kind of seems like a mystical object that is unattainable.
Like it's fake. Like that's not possible for normal people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when you meet somebody like famous and you're like, oh yeah, it's just like a guy. It's just like a guy. Yeah,
it's just a person.
You know, it definitely makes you realize like, oh shit. Like I don't know, dude. I feel like, but you did for a lot of this story, like your life basically, like you just saw something and you just like kind of just went and did it. You know, like you just went after it. I feel like a lot of people aren't like aggressive like that.
Yeah.
Like I always try to tell, like you DMing people, like that's like when I wanted to get a job, dude. I was like just hitting people up online. Like, hey, what's up? You work here? What's it like? Can I get a job? You know what I mean? Like I feel like not enough people do that type of shit. So.
You have to knock, right?
It works.
For the door to open, you have to knock.
Yeah. It's very true.
That's a great way to put it, man. Because like a lot of people do kind of think that things have to come to them, when in reality, it's like you having to go out and put in the extra effort to make something happen.
Dude, and I lived my life like that for a long time. Like not thinking I have to go look for the things I want.
Yeah.
So when I did, I went all in. I think that's what it was. I just like, when you find that confidence and like, oh shit, I can actually do that. Oh, I can just go there and try that. Oh, I can actually do that. Like things like, it's crazy. Like you get some confidence out of nowhere because it's like, okay, so I was living in a fake reality. It's almost like I had goggles on and like I cleaned them. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh shit!
All they had to do was
exactly.
ask and act on it.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Wild.
Like I feel like there gotta be like a class for that. Like there should be like people teaching that to other like kids. Like, listen, you could just, and I guess you hear it a lot, right? You know, you could do anything you want.
Yeah,
right? Like you hear it all the time.
Yeah, but you're like, I don't know. It seems like it's like risk. You know, you're like, oh, I gotta go. Like, what if it doesn't work out? But it's like, but like, I don't know. You seem to have a general, like, you know, you're in shape, and you're like, all right, I can do most of this stuff on a bar. It's like the people can't do this. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so. it's like you can do anything you want within like a reasonable sensibility. Like if you're like 5 feet tall and you're a man, like you're probably not going to play NBA basketball.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But like if you are like yourself,
but if you like basketball, you could be the best fucking basketball 5'5" player in the world and go fucking viral and be a fucking YouTube star.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
It's
like,
true. Yeah.
It's like, so you're right. Like you can do something with it if you have the passion and drive to do so.
Like literally, you just gotta have drive, bro.
Yeah.
Drive and passion, and don't give up. Like seriously.
Yeah, it's about drive.
Okay, the rock.
Oh yeah, it's so corny, dude.
Yeah, God, that's so
His lyrics are like,
I know, dude.
Yes.
All right, man, it's mad funny.
Everyone that's just in the comments like, oh, bro, this is the most fire song ever. I'm like, you don't have to say that.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I
mean, it's cool that he's rapping and he's a rock. But
just, dude, I know. Yeah, it's mad.
Number
corny,
one
it's
song in the world.
It's like
followed by the number one movie in America.
ABC lyrics.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, so you talked to this woman and she was like, "Yeah, I'm going to American Ninja Warrior," and you're like, "How do you do that?"
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "What? All right, I need to go there."
Yeah.
So she brought me to her the ninja gym she was like training at in Fairfield, and I was like literally instantly hooked. I mean, so they have a salmon ladder.
Yeah.
I do pull-ups. I do muscle-ups.
Yeah.
So now I get a bar that moves.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's like brand new games. Like brand new like toys to play with.
That's the one that the Arrow does, right?
They throw it up and you climb up
You climb it up like that. Stephen Amell. Yeah.
Boom.
Okay, yeah. Boom. Boom. Yeah, okay.
Bro, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like this is like the same exact thing as a muscle up, right? Same exact movement.
I feel like you,
but instead of muscling up, you just boop,
you must
put
have
it
like
there.
grabbed it and like immediately just been able
Killed
to do
it, bro.
right? Yeah.
And then just brought my confidence even more high. Like, oh shit,
I own this place.
Yeah. And then people in the ninja gym were like, bro, have you done that before? I'm like, never. And they're like, whoa, you're good. I'm like, I am good. Shit.
Yeah.
But like I always thought I was, but like I am.
Yeah. Dude.
Fuck. I was like, okay. I found the next thing. I found the next passion. Like I was just dying out, bro. I was dying out. Not having like my passion. My passion was like getting away from me. And all these new kids were coming up with calisthenics doing amazing fucking things. And I was going backwards. I'm like, shit, I can't even planche anymore. My wrist hurt. Everything hurts. Like, so Ninja Warrior was a breath of fresh air. And I was like, again, now I'm motivated. Now I'm like ready to take on the world again. Like I have a new fire, a passion now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it went. So just going to that gym lit my fire even more. And then she ended up hitting me up and she's like, listen, if you want to come and test the obstacles, I could get you in with the guy who you can talk to and you can come to my taping. You could test the obstacles.
Like you'll be the guy that tests the course out?
Yep.
That's
Obstacle,
actually kind of sweet.
Right?
It's a pretty sweet gig.
Okay.
You go test the obstacles and then you get to stay and watch, everyone go and do the runs and you could be on TV and shit like that. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Give me the email. And she gave me the email. I'm like, I hit the guy up and he's like, yeah, this is where you go, this is what you do, blah, blah, blah. This is your number, all this shit. And I went there and I did it. And bro, it was like one of the best experiences of my life. They had a bunch of testers, probably like 30 people. And the obstacles are right there and the production team is there and all that. And they're kind of like asking, what they do is like they give you the rules, like no cell phone use and this, that, and don't go on obstacles unless we ask you to, this type of thing. And then they kind of start calling people out and they're like, all right, we're gonna go on obstacle 3. Whoever wants to try it, make a line, you know what I mean? And so, I will try every obstacle, I will go and make a line and then, all right, so this obstacle, this is how it goes. And we're trying to see if it's too hard or too easy. So you guys go ahead and try it. And I was killing the obstacles. I was like, oh shit, oh, boom, boom, jumping off the Ooh.
No, you're good.
Jumping up from the back. Like there was one obstacle that was dope. Shit, what was it? It was like you jump into a rope and then you have to grab another rope and then swing and then jump off of there and grab a like a punching bag.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that thing.
Yeah, from that part's tough.
Yeah, from that punching bag, you gotta grab another one and like move yourself to that one, and it was pretty dope. And I'm like, oh shit, it's cool. So anyway, towards, I was hyped up and I was too hyper to the point that we're like, all right, man, like calm down. Cause I was like,
hey dude.
That's how I get, man. I was like, when I was done, I was like, yeah, a backflip,
Like, all right, so that was a great test.
Actually,
I will do a human flag on the obstacles and the guy was like, hey, don't do that.
Calm down.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I'm loving life right now. I'm like, I'm so hyper and so happy. So anyway, one kid there was like, dude, I follow you on Instagram. You're fucking dope. I go around the whole country testing the obstacles for every part. So they, like, the other producers know me and shit. Like, I just follow them to all the different spots and like test the obstacles, because every course is different. And every different. So it's 5 of them. So anyway, so he was like, I know the producers. I'm gonna get them to give you a full run of the course. I'm gonna get them to. I got you. Watch. I was like, okay, sure, yeah. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
So then towards the end of the day, they let a few people do a full run of the course. And I was one of them. And I was like, hell yeah. And I ran through the whole course, bro. I did the whole course. I did the whirlpool, which I've never done before. I get to the top, and then they let me go to the what they call the finals course, which is the 4 other obstacles that they put on to the people who make it to the finals.
Right.
And I got to the second one of the finals course. So I basically beat the whole course plus the...
And they were like, damn, that was faster than...
Yeah. And the producers were like, that was really good, man. What did you do? And I kind of explained to them, they're like, you should apply for the show. You'll get in. You should apply. And I was like, for real? Like, yeah. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And they're like, by the way, tonight when the taping starts, we show the audience how the obstacles work. Do you mind doing like one part of the course? And I was like, hell yeah. He's like, you might be on TV too. We tape it and shit, and we'll show it like on the TV show.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
You're like, hell yeah, let's go.
It was crazy. So yeah, when the taping started, they called me out and I freaking jumped the fence like, yeah, I'm coming. And I ended up doing half the middle part of the obstacle course. So somebody did the first 2 obstacles. I did like the second 2 obstacles. Somebody did the last 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was dope. It was fun. And so then I got to watch everybody run. I was hooked, and I was like, I'm applying.
Shit.
And I applied, and by the way, so once you get into this whole ninja warrior community, everyone is super dope. Like all these people are like so friendly and so like supporting, and they help you and they teach you the ropes and like, listen, this is what you got to do. This is how you put your videos. This is how you apply. Once you apply, this is what you have to wait for. You know what I mean? Like there's a timing for everything, and like they'll call the different areas in their own time. So like they'll call like the California people first, and they'll call the Texas people, and
interesting.
You know what I mean? The Eastern people, whatever.
So where was this one? This was in Florida, you said, or this was?
So that first one that I went to was in Philadelphia.
Okay. And this was that was the one you competed in? Is that one you tested?
That's the one I tested.
Okay.
And then the one I competed was because they switch them around. So it's still the Northeastern.
Yep.
But they'll switch the place.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the town or whatever, the city that they use. And when I competed, it was Ohio.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So, so I put the video in and all that. And after putting the video in, you have to just wait and be ready and be prepared, because you might get the call like 2 weeks before the actual show airs. Or not airs, the show tapes. Yeah. So just be ready. Like that's what they kept saying. Just be ready. If you do get the call, be ready. You know, and don't worry if you don't. There's over 100,000 people that apply every year, so you might not get the call, and that's okay. But you just got to keep trying. Some of us have been trying for 10 years straight, and we don't get the call. You know what I mean? And, so
dude, but it sounds like you kind of like made an impression when you were there. So they were like, all right, like. And the other guy who said he tests all the courses and he knows the producers, and it's like it's funny to think though, like there's that many people that submit, and like. They're probably all capable of doing the course. Like maybe like the dude who would have gotten the fastest time wasn't even selected. You know what I mean?
Because his personality
is
is who you are, your story, where you came from. Like they want to know all these things about you. You have to be really like thorough about like who you are and where you came from, and you got to show your personality.
Yeah, you got to be marketable as much as you are athletic.
And they keep saying that. They even say when you're making like when you go on the website to apply, they say this is not a sport. This is a TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just remember that. Like we're not here for the best athlete. We're here for the best overall personality and athlete, if possible.
Right.
So yeah, when I apply, I had all those things in mind, and I obviously listened to all the other ninjas and shit like that, and I did my best to like portray like my backstory, where I came from, how I'm a single father, how I came from nothing into calisthenics. I won some competitions. I show all the footage of me like winning the competitions and flipping and all these crazy stuff.
Yeah, it is hype as shit. I would have picked you too. You know what I mean? I feel like you get enough of these. You know what I mean?
And back then, there
wasn't
a
really good story.
Like it's crazy because that was 2017. That's only 5 years ago. But like the level of craziness from then to now, I think when TikTok came out, things went crazy. Like Reels came out.
Yeah.
Things were even more crazy. Now they came out of the woodwork. Anyone that can flip or do any crazy type of thing is online right now making videos and going viral.
Yeah.
And back then, I don't think those people were yet noticed or out there as much as they are now. So I think
it's very true.
And back then also no. Actually, there was a few calisthenics guys who have been a ninja warrior, including Ed from Bar Stars, but he didn't take it seriously at all. And he's not as athletic either. He's just strong as fuck.
Yeah.
But so I was fresh for them, definitely. I don't think they ever seen anything like me until I got there, especially like bar stuff. Like maybe they saw parkour guys
kind of like
who
bridge
flip.
the sport a little, but it's true, right? Like parkour, I feel like is a little more like well known because dude, like all the stunt guys, like most of them are like we do parkour or whatever. Guys. You know what I mean? Because like you see it a lot of movies, so it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
But I feel like the bar thing, it's like it's more of like a what the hell is this? You know, like what's going on?
It's definitely
like,
really unique for
it's
sure.
It's a merge from between parkour and like strength or I don't know,
dude, and you gotta have like
gymnastics.
the grip strength, right? And like that's like a big part of all those things, especially with like the monkey bars, and a lot of it's like the throwing the hoops over the rings, and, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, a lot of it is like, how long can you hold on to yourself?
Yeah.
In the air.
And about that, right? So that's another point that's crazy. Ninja Warrior, they, I thought I was gonna be killing it with the grip strength because of that, right? I could hang on a bar forever. I could hang one arm. I used to be able to do one arm muscle ups, bro, back then. Yeah. I used to
that's crazy, dude. Yeah,
I used to do one arm muscle ups and then come down and do a one arm back lever. Without letting go of the bar. It's crazy.
Just fucked up is what it is.
That's crazy, dude.
It's nuts. But so I thought my grip strength was gonna like be killer when it comes to Ninja Warrior. Well, no, man. Like it's a whole nother world, right? So think about this. This is the grip of a bar. Now, when you switch that grip and you make it into this, it's a big difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, when you make it into this, and now you're only holding two ledges.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Now, what's the other one?
I know there's one with like poles where like it's like this, too.
Dude, that's wicked hard.
Yep. So now this is a whole nother world. Now this is a whole nother world. Like the doorknobs, they call them.
Yeah.
Right? Doorknobs or even like balls that you have to hang on like this.
They look like
you ever go to like a rock climbing gym? They kind of have them on the pull-up bars sometimes.
Yes, those.
Yeah.
Or like cones. They have cones. They have all these different things.
Yeah.
So that changes the game completely. And I thought I was going to be killing it. And I'm like, oh, I fucking suck, dude. Like I couldn't even do like I think I could only do like 1.5 inch ledge. Like anything shorter than 1.5 inches, I would just like not have the strength to do it. And that's all like the forearm strength and ligaments and tendons around the wrist.
I mean, that's like some elite. It's like elite level strength to be able to fucking hold yourself with like less than 1 inch.
Yeah, that's like some rock climber strength.
Which is why rock climbers are some of the best ninja warriors ever.
Yeah,
like the first guy who won Ninja Warrior was a rock climber.
Yeah,
dude, and it's like the endurance too, for like they have with all that shit, and it's like the weird grips.
And you can't rush that. Like endurance, especially when it comes to like grip strength, endurance. If you like try and rush it, you're gonna tear your tendons.
Yeah,
you're gonna fuck
overwork it, dude. Your elbow's gonna hurt. It's like it takes a while. I feel like people do that for years. It's like all those dudes who like are like mechanics and shit and work on cars, and then all of a sudden they could fucking snap your arm with a hand.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's
too,
like but
that's pretty much
the same shit over and over again.
Years and years. And those rock climbing guys who've been doing this since they were kids have such a big advantage on people who do anything else. Literally anything. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nuts.
Yeah, so those guys were definitely the best as far as like the hanging obstacle type thing. So those guys just had to learn more of the athleticism, and like most guys in Ninja Warrior are afraid of the balancing obstacles.
Mhm.
I love the balancing obstacles. I feel like it's fun to me because it's like a little scary. Like, oh shit, I gotta go fast. I gotta fucking do this.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will, like some of the best Ninja Warriors will fall on those obstacles.
They like really the logs that rotate over the water, dude. You gotta run across them.
Or the ones that have like, like they're like logs too. Or my obstacle in my season, it was called the edge, something edge, razor edge, I think it was. It was 4 walls, one like this, and then the other one like this.
You have to like hop.
No, they just have like a little like maybe was that like half a foot? Not even half a foot of an edge, and you just have to like touch. But when you touch it, the thing starts moving like this.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that sounds crazy.
And they're like this and like this and like this. So as soon as you touch it, the thing is gonna start moving. So you gotta go quick, and they're long enough that you have to at least take 2 steps, unless you have a really long jump.
Yeah.
That was the one on my.
Oh my god,
yeah, that sounds super tough, dude.
I freaking jumped face first to the end. Oh, yeah, that was so much fun. But yeah, where was I?
Oh well, I mean, you got in the competition, you were training for it, and you were like, "Oh shit, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be." But like, what was the filming like? Like, what was the taping? Because you had been on the opposite end of it, where you saw what the obstacles were and then watched everyone go through it. But now, as a person, it's all new to you immediately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was that like?
That was, like I said before earlier, like that was probably the hardest part.
Yeah.
Just the pressure you get from knowing, right, that you had to apply for the show. Then you get a call. By the way, when I got a call, I was taking a nap, and I thought it said Bank of America, my phone, but it actually says something about Anaheim, California, or something like that. But I thought it was Bank of America, and when I picked it up, it was a lady that's saying that. She's like, "Is this Simon Delgado?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Congratulations, you'll be chosen for American Ninja Warrior," and I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, you were chosen." I'm like, hyperventilating. I'm like, "Can I call you back?" I'm just like, literally, because I just woke up. But yeah, like that's how I got the call.
Wow, man.
So from then on, they just kind of like, you have to do a lot of things. You have to do like a whole blood exam. You have to do, you got to send them pictures and different videos they want and different things like that. And then once you actually get to the place, by the way, the show films overnight. So 9 p.m. to 5 in the morning is when the show is filming.
Whoa.
So you have to change your sleeping schedule a few days before you actually go on the show, because if not, you're gonna be tired as fuck.
Yeah, that's a serious disadvantage for any of the competitors.
I don't know why do they do that? I mean, it's funny though, because every time I remember seeing the show, it's always dark out.
Dark. That's why. So it looks cooler.
Yeah, because they have the lights cooler.
On the lights and the fire and the flames.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Wow. They literally but that's so extreme until 5 a.m. Like somebody's competing.
So as soon as the light comes out, even if there's more people to compete, they're done. That's it. You lost your chance.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So they have what they call walk-ons. And those walk-ons, like 10 of them get picked per place. And those guys have to wait till the end and see if they get a chance to run.
Okay.
And so some of them get thrown like in the middle. Some of them, but most of them are at the end. So those guys usually, normally like 5 out of the 10 will get a chance to run. And it's fucking heartbreaking because they waited there for like weeks sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And then, so I remember, like, how did you do in the competition? So like, you know, like, how did all that go? You know, because like,
dude, I'm surprised to share myself. I'll tell you that. So in the first one is called the regional. What is it called? The regional. I forget what it's called, but it's basically the first competition. It's just like the regional competition. Mm-hmm. And you go against 110 people. So it's the 100 people that they chose for the show and then the 10 walk-ons. So you go against all those guys. And then the fastest, who went the longest, 30 people, go on to the finals. So and it's the regional finals though. So it's not the whole country, just that region right there. So on the show, when you watch it, you watch them go compete on the first day. And then 4 weeks later, you watch the regional finals. But in real life, you compete and then you compete the next night again if you make it to the finals.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See what I mean?
Stacked more back to back.
Right. You stay there and now they just make the obstacle course longer and then you go back and do it again.
Oh, wow.
They might change some obstacles around a little to make it a little harder, maybe some a little easier that people were falling on too much.
Okay.
They'll do things like that. So the first night I got to the I-beam and I ended up falling on the I-beam, but I got there really fast. So I was like going quick. So I made it to the top 30. I was the 21st.
Okay.
Out of the
nice.
30.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So then the next night I had to compete again on the finals. And that night, I made it past the obstacle that I didn't make it to in the first one. I made it up the warp wall and I made it onto the second obstacle of the finals course where everyone fell that night. Like on the show, they had like a little, like a counter thing. Bing! Another one falls
like
on
how
that
many
one.
people,
Bing! Yeah, like 6, 7,
like
8,
one
9.
obstacle that was like killing
Crazy. It was called a nail clipper. Yeah, and after you use the salmon ladder, you go onto the nail clipper. It's basically was that like a pillar, foam pillar that has little ledges on it, like all around it. And what you do is you grab on like this, and then you have to go this way with it.
Oh my God!
And
yeah,
then when
that
you're
sounds
done,
shitty.
then you have to go on this side and then go to the next one. And there's 4 of them.
Jesus.
Yeah. So after you do the salmon ladder, you don't get no rest. You go straight to that. And then you have to like clock these things. Clock. And then you got to go on that side and it's like a little ledge. And then you go to the next one.
Oh my God.
And I made it to the second one. I was like, oh, just fell in the water.
Yeah.
It was fucking freezing too, like cold as hell. Oh my God.
Like, come on.
The stuff they don't tell you about.
It was so cold. They had like heaters everywhere. Like everybody was like this in front of the heaters. Cause I mean, we were all freezing out there. It must have been like 10 degrees that day.
What the fuck?
It was cold as hell.
Sure, that helped your grip strength.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, as a sarcastic.
Yeah, no. I was like sweating and they don't let you use chalk either.
Oh, no.
Can't
Yeah.
use chalk and Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that second night, I made it there fast enough to make it to the Vegas finals. I was 14th out of the 15 people that could make it to the Vegas finals.
Oh man.
So yeah.
That's dope, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's freaking nuts. And then you don't know, right? You don't know if you made it to the Vegas finals. You got to wait all the way to like 6 in the morning when they start calling out names. So then they're like, all right,
Dude,
everybody
they used
get
to
together.
abuse you guys, huh?
Yeah,
Dude,
what the
like,
hell?
what
That's
the
the
fuck,
crazy.
man?
So you're
Spit on
waiting
you.
the whole night.
They're like,
Oh, sorry. You don't get sleep and you get spit on.
Exactly.
It's like 2 a.m. in the morning is when I went. And then I'm like just sitting there waiting, right? Watching everyone else go. And then they like call you to this little spot and they're like, all right, guys, we're going to call out who made it to the finals. And they start calling names. Number 1, blah, 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 blah. Number 2.
Yep.
And then they get to like 13 and I'm like, oh, fuck. I definitely
dude.
make it.
Oh,
I
man.
wasn't sure because so many people made it to that same spot. I'm like, I think I went fast enough, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
And number 14, they messed up my name, Sammer Delgado.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I couldn't believe it. So I made it to the Vegas finals. So then you go back home and you kind of like get prepared for Vegas. And Vegas is in June. And that was like in May.
Okay, so you had some time to prep a little bit.
Yep. So then you get prepared for Vegas finals. And yeah, so I made it to the Vegas finals. And that was very crazy. And that was a 14-day trip that they bring you out there to do all types of like stuff with like doctors to make sure you could actually like you're not gonna have a heart attack or something.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they do all types
I
of
feel
crazy
like you
stuff.
made it this far. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right?
yeah.
Yes. They do all these like B-roll and like what they call hero shots, where you just like stand there like this and the camera kind of
Yeah,
comes
dude, I
close
can
to
already
you.
see it in my head. Like, because I know what you're talking about. They cut them together and it's like,
Yeah.
this is Summer,
Yeah.
you know, and he's
This
from
is
whatever
Summer.
the fuck. And he's
Yeah,
just like,
exactly. And it's just
spins
him
around, yeah.
fucking slow-mo and fucking
Exactly.
puff of smoke.
Yeah.
dude, it's so funny.
And then they bring you to a park and they're like, all right, do some flips. They do whatever you want to do. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Whatever you want. You just do some flips and they're getting slow-mo. They're like, oh man, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be on the show. Oh, by the way, when I was done in Ohio, the producers come up to me and they're like, you did amazing, man. You did awesome. We love your energy. We love what you're doing. We love your background story. Is it okay if we send a team to your house to do a story, like home story on you?
Oh, wow.
And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Hell
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hit up everyone on the community thing. And I'm like, guys, what does this mean? Like they told me that they're gonna send a team to my house, and there was like, man, they like you. They're gonna put you on TV. You're gonna make it to the TV show. By the way, everyone knows, even if you make it on the show, doesn't mean you make it on TV. Right? There's 100 people that are going, and then in the episode they might show 20, maybe 20, might show less.
Yeah.
So and everybody goes in there knowing that, like, there's no guarantees, no matter how good you were or how bad you were. Some of the best guys don't make it on TV.
Right.
Like the fastest. Like, matter of fact, one of the episodes, the fastest dude of the night, they didn't show him. He won number one.
That's crazy.
They didn't show him on TV
That's
at all.
crazy.
He must not have been very marketable.
Yeah, I guess, right?
That's my thought.
Yeah, so the way they do it, they were saying is like they make an edit and then they send it to NBC, and then NBC's like, there's too many dudes. Let's put some more girls in there. Take some guys out, put some girls, and then they send it back to them, and then Ninja Warrior makes more edits, and they send it back, and they're like, we don't like this one guy,
Yeah.
Then boom, and then eventually they come up with a final product.
It's so interesting to see like how that works behind the scenes, because like I don't know. It makes sense, right? It's just a TV show, but you think of it as like a competition, but
you never think about it until you're there, which is one of the reasons why people do so bad on the show, because you got to do a lot of interviewing. You're in this hotel room, in a black hotel room, and they're like, all right, you have to act, have fun, and can you say that one more time? But this time, like, be louder and be happy when you say it. It's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Fuck, I said it how I said it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So now I got to be like, so I won. You know what I mean? It's so fucking weird. It's weird.
So
dude.
Unnatural. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and the whole time they're like this, good, like that in the background. It's like, man, like this feels so fake to me.
Like you'd appreciate it if they just kept your original reaction.
Just let me be me, man. Like,
it's like, I don't know. I just think of it like, when like a photographer is trying to get like a kid to laugh and they're like shaking a toy. It's like, all right, like I'm a fucking grown ass man, relax.
But I also understand where they're coming from, because they have to be marketable, like you were saying, right?
Yeah.
And if they get a bunch of footage and none of it's good because the person doesn't have enough personality, or he doesn't laugh enough, or he looks mad, or whatever it is, then they're probably gonna lose their jobs for getting shitty footage. They gotta get good footage, and that's all they care about.
Right.
So that's kind of how it goes, and there's a bunch of that. I mean, a lot of it throughout the week in Vegas, throughout the week leading to the show, and the regular one is like that same day of the show. They just like bombarding you with things, man. You do this. Oh, let me see what you're wearing. We got to make sure that you could wear this. They're putting tape over like stuff. They're like, it's all crazy. It's really, really insane. And then the people are like, they lose focus, and then they're about to compete, and they're like, oh shit, the producer's there. There's lights on them. Your family's right there.
Yeah.
All right, everybody go crazy. They start going crazy, and you're like, oh fuck. And the guy's like, all right, in 5, 4. You're like, fuck, go, okay, go. And most people fuck up. I mean, I met some amazing athletes back there, dude. I met some guys that I was like, shit, man, he's gonna crush. And then he goes out there fussing the first obstacle.
Oh, wow. You're like, uh-oh.
And then some other guy fussing the second, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you have the ability, the strength, everything, and then
it's the nerves, man.
Yeah.
This right here will fuck you up.
100%. And the blackout thing. Remember what we talked about?
Yeah.
So this is what I did, and it worked for me. And it didn't work in Vegas because I didn't do it in Vegas. And it's a lesson learned. But what I did before my initial competition is, you have to stay up overnight. So the night before, I stayed up overnight. And all I did was watch YouTube videos. I already kind of knew what the course looked like, because we drove by it and we kind of like hung out and kind of like see some of the obstacles were going to be. So I went on YouTube and I researched some of the obstacles that look kind of like those. And I would just watch people do it, like their footing, what they were doing, like, dun, 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 dun. Okay, so then I would just close my eyes and just literally just envision myself making every single move, like in slow motion, like literally just watching my leg move, watching what my arm was doing, every single move, and then finishing, and then feeling the enjoyment of getting through the obstacle. Like, I got through. Yeah, like, yes, I did it. Okay, what's the next obstacle? Now do that again. And I was literally envisioning that for hours the night before, because I had to stay up through the night either way. So I'm like, I'm just going to do this. And I would just sit there with my eyes closed and envision myself doing that. Envision my family there. Envision myself being present in that one obstacle. And I told myself, be present. Do not let yourself get too hyped. Be present, be present. These obstacles, the only one that matters. Once you get through this obstacle, immediately you be happy and you allow yourself to be happy, and then you immediately look at the next obstacle and then think about exactly what you're gonna do and stay concentrated on that obstacle only, not the next one or the next one or the time or anything else.
Be in the now.
Be in the now. Yeah. And that helped me, dude. Like literally helped me because I was able to like focus so much better doing that. And in Vegas, it was almost like party time. That's the thing. That's what happened in Vegas. Yeah. I met some of my idols, some of the people that I was watching for 9 years on Ninja Warrior, and we got to hang out, and we were going for breakfast together. We were there 14 days before the show, so we were just like hanging out the whole time. We ended up even going out one night to like party and all that. And it was the wrong thing to do. Like I was not focused. I had no time where I like closed my eyes and started thinking about what I was supposed to do. Not once.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And when I got to the second obstacle on the first stage. There's 4 stages. And it was an obstacle that they actually let us try, which they never do that in Ninja Warrior. They never let you try any obstacle. You can't touch the course until you actually go.
Yeah.
But that year, they had created a new obstacle called the Big Dipper. It's a bar that sits on 2 different metal pieces, almost like a roller coaster, like this.
Yep.
And you hold on to the bar, and then it kind of like brings you down, and then let go, and catch another bar and finish that, and then let go, and then finish at the ledge.
Holy
actually,
shit.
Yeah, that sounds tough as hell, dude.
Yeah, but it's like so my thing, right?
Yeah,
bars, freaking jumping, like Lashane. Like I love Lashane. That's one of my things. Is jumping from bar to bar is like one of my favorite things. So I'm like, dude, this is like so me, and they let us do it. They let us try it. A lot of people decided not to try, by the way, because they were like, in their mind, like, oh, if I try, I'm gonna fuck myself up. You're not supposed to do that.
Okay.
But I tried it, and I got through it easily, like nothing, like butter.
Dope, yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. On the actual show, I couldn't get my hands to stop shaking. Literally couldn't get it to start shaking. I was on the bar holding on. And it was like this. And I'm like, oh, fuck, summer. And I was supposed to be telling myself, stay in the moment, confident. Stay in the moment, confident.
Yeah.
I was not saying that. I was like, stop shaking, man. Like, stop shaking. That's what I was telling myself. And and I fell on that one. I let go too late, and I went flying straight up instead of forward, so I couldn't reach the next bar.
Damn.
Yeah,
wow.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely intimidated by Vegas. And it was my fault. It's totally my fault because I knew what I had to do and I didn't do it.
Well, I mean that's like pretty crazy lesson learned there, There's definitely...
Well, it just goes to show you how like playing it in your head before you go, and like how much that makes a difference. Like even obviously like that was like on TV and stuff, but like anytime I go and I want to try a new move out, like at the gym when I'm like, whatever, like rolling with somebody, it's like I'll watch a video or I'll see somebody do it and I'll slow it down. I'll watch, like you said, their footing. Like, all right, I'll watch it through, look at his feet. This time I'm gonna look at his hands. And I'll kind of do the same thing. Like you picture it in your head like enough times, like you just, it's like see yourself doing it over and over again. It's like you like program it into your head,
Yeah.
And then you go in and it's just like, boom, it's like one thing. You just do it. And I'm like, wow, it's crazy. It's like you sleep on it and you wake up and it's like you can do it,
Yeah.
You believe in your abilities and your body. Like if you really do know that you have the abilities, it's just like programming and then just letting your body do it.
It's true. And like, that's why like for a lot of things like that, like I'm always telling people like watch somebody who's good at it, do it just like over and over again, like pay attention. You know what I mean? Like, cause like you said, right? Like you see things like that, like, oh, like the footing is really important, or like the hand placement, or like what's he doing with his like head, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. But if you're focusing on that, you're not focusing on failing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the thing is like, your parents always used to say like monkey see, monkey do is like a bad thing, but it's actually a true thing that can be used for good. Like
it's a real thing.
Yeah,
it's
like
actually a good thing.
You can watch, like you said, all these videos or watch someone else do something amazing, and you're like, well, wait a minute, and your little monkey brain starts going. You start trying to figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But dude, that's an incredible story, man. That was amazing to hear, like all the way through, and I'm like really glad that like you fucking like were able to do. Now, do you have like stuff now? Because I do want to try and round out the podcast. We've been going for like almost an hour and a half now.
Damn,
it goes by fast.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
It kind of rips by.
Yeah, it always rips by fast.
Yeah,
but so just in closing, like stuff that you're doing now. maybe stuff that you might want to tell like people that are listening. You know, I know you got like a gym that you're like going to be opening up kind of soon. Yeah. Anything like that you want to kind of like round it off with?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like I stopped competing and all that and started focusing on my business and growing what I love doing, which is teaching people to be fearless and to like get out of the comfort zone. Like, so that's what I do. I teach people to do dope shit and to like, you know, be healthier and be fit.
Yeah.
And most of my clients end up doing handstands like me.
Yeah.
You know, I have a 65-year-old dude doing a handstand that
really?
never done one in his whole life.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, and so that's kind of what I love. I love movement and I love aesthetics. Those two things are my shit, right? I like looking good and I like doing dope ass shit. Like I don't want to pick one or the other. I want to do both.
Yeah, yeah. And you've shown that you can do both.
Absolutely.
You know? So that's awesome.
So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm just focusing on personal training. I do online training as well. I have my own app where I have hundreds of videos on how to do every exercise. So if someone like decides to like train with me online, I can like give them exact workouts and programs that they could follow and watch the videos and all that to make sure they have good form.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah. I do nutrition as well because to have aesthetics, you can't just work out.
Yeah. You need the food's so important.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you want to be shredded or if you want to just burn body fat or you want to gain muscle, any of those, you have to know exactly what you're doing with nutrition as well, right? You have to be in either a caloric deficit, caloric surplus.
Yeah.
You got to hit your macros. You got to learn all that stuff. So like, I love teaching this stuff. I love like teaching movement and the aesthetics and fitness and health and nutrition. So
dude, we'll have to have you on again and just talk that stuff because we're big like, you know, gym rat, like nutrition buffs kind of guys. So stuff, like dude. we'll have you on another time.
Hell yeah.
Go through all that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I have a new gym coming up soon. Opening a facility up here in Pawcatuck, actually.
As you say, you said it's around here, right? Like down the street or something?
Yeah. It's actually, it's right by a Stop and Shop. And it's going to be called Fit Fam, which stands for the Factory of Aesthetics and Movement.
Okay,
so fitness,
cool, yeah.
The Factory of Aesthetics and Movement.
Oh, cool. And it's also like Fit Family.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so there we're going to be doing everything from calisthenics. I'm going to have a whole bar setup. I'm going to have some climbing stuff on there. I'm going to have some Ninja Warrior obstacles on there. I'm going to have some turf. And I'm going to have all the weightlifting stuff that anyone may need.
This must be a massive facility.
It's 2,000 square feet. So I'm cutting it close though with the space I have and the stuff I want to put in there. But I'm gonna get it in. I want to put it all in there.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, you know, like you have like a stacked resume for somebody who's looking for a coach for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because like you've been there, like you've competed in all these things already, and like you won a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like some random dude who's like competing and not winning. It's like you went in and like you did, like you were, you know what I mean? You're like smoking people at the bars.
Dude, I can't wait to teach people. I want to get kids involved in calisthenics because how I was, man, how much I like fell in there. It's crazy. Sometimes I'm in the YMCA at the gym. I go there sometimes to train and, you know, I see a 15-year-old kid there and he just watches me do a muscle up and he's like, whoa. And then he goes trying it and he's like, I've never done anything like this in my life. Like all I wanted to do was get big and huge and lift weights. Yeah. And then they see that power of fitness and I could see that I could have a whole team of kids doing that. I can see it. They just don't know it's even out there. So my gym is going to help me to bring it out there more.
Yeah.
Dude,
I can't wait. I'm really excited. You'll definitely have to let us know when it opens up. I'd love to come by and take a look.
I want to have a whole big grand opening and stuff like that. And hopefully you guys could be there.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I'll bring some food or something. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, just bring yourself, we'll bring a bunch of shit. Come have fun. Come hit some bars and stuff. I'll teach you a few moves.
Yeah, dude, I would love to. Yeah, I'm stoked. When did you just get the space? Or?
Yeah, so we still have a lot of work to do. So we're thinking either mid-July to August.
Okay, yeah.
That's still a pretty quick turnaround time, to be honest, to set up a whole facility like that. Yeah. So good on you.
So hopefully I could make it by then. But yeah, we have a lot of work to do. A lot of work. So.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine, dude. Outfitting a 2,000 square foot facility for exactly what you want it to be is incredibly challenging.
Yeah. So if you guys know some people that could do some cool things or like could help somehow, I would love to like find some good people I could hire to help out.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind.
I think I might actually know some people.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, dude, thanks so much for coming on.
Dude,
thanks for telling all your stories and stuff. It's like super awesome to hear about. And,
so crazy. We did an hour and a half, and I have like, honestly, I have like 2 hours worth of more things I could tell you guys.
Yeah, dude. That's the funny thing. It's like I always know, like, I'm like, wow, like this could go on indefinitely.
So crazy.
It's like, but
for sure, we're gonna have to
flies by like that.
We're gonna have to split it for sure and just have you back on because, like, dude, this is why they put you on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because,
dude.
You guys don't fucking shut the fuck up.
Dude, you know,
this is why they put you on TV. You don't shut your fucking mouth, bro.
Dude, this is what the people want to see. You know, you got a compelling story. You know what I mean? Like, we literally just talked about your life, and it was like that was like a dope podcast. So I feel like we can talk about.
I really, really, really appreciate that. Honestly,
dude, I feel like it's definitely gonna help somebody listening. You know what I mean? Because like you kind of did it. You know, you took yourself from a spot you were like having a rough time, and you went in, and also just like the fact that like. You could have gone to California, but you had responsibilities. You got kids. You know what I mean? So, but you still made it happen.
Yeah, that is a good point of that. That shouldn't be overlooked. Is that like you held true to the things that you were responsible for as a parent throughout the whole process, which is like something that is very challenging.
Well, you had to, right? Like if
but not everybody. Yeah,
but not everybody does
that.
You know, like you think you have to because you're a good person, but not everyone's a good person.
Yeah, you're right. So, you're right. There's some shitty people out there.
Yeah, but anyway, so have a good. I guess thanks for coming on, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
All right, sweet. Thanks so much for listening to Bone Apple Tea. If you like the show, please give us a follow, like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is. Tell your friends about it, and make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's Bone Apple TV, BoneAppleTeav on Instagram. Thanks so much.